It's SKCALALAS versus SONHADORES, and I'm going to throw that question to you, Pedro, still. SKCALALAS looking forward to playing against rookies, but you mentioned beforehand how SONHADORES are an unwritten book. They don't really know what to expect from them.
Yeah, I mean, that's literally like that, right? They have some stats, right? Especially when they have already waiting 2 weeks for this match. They know they have been tracking them for sure. But this team that have nothing to lose are really easy for them to just go wherever they feel like. Also, they probably, when you are 3 friends, probably even, or close people, and get to this chance, and some of them tell you, now, trust me, I'm gonna rock with Mr. P. The other two will trust forever. They will go with him. So you can expect anything from them.
We're now heading into draft. Golden Gulch is our first map. Many brawlers already out of the way. Many Buffy brawlers left open though. I see Spike, Mortis could still be 2 very good picks. Some of them like this one. Gray is going to be the first pick here. So I wouldn't be too surprised if we saw a tank or an assassin on the right-hand side indeed ready.
Mina now coming out from SKCALALAS. This one puzzles me just a little bit. I know it will apply a bunch of pressure. If they give up any room, then Mina is going to be taking up a ton of space. Though, I just have to wonder, are they capitalizing on those positions? Like, usually you'd capitalize on a brawler dying, for example, to move up as Mina. Now you're just waiting for someone to get on low HP, so it's going to be a bit of a different dynamic than you would see from Mina in most of the other game modes, but I think that's a role that she's going to fulfill.
Yeah, I really like the playstyle of Mina in this map because it's bringing you a lot of flexibility to do whatever you want. You can go super aggro at the start or just wait for the overtime, right? With that shield that is really strong. You need some support like snipers are really strong, really important, and anti-tanks, which the cover both, right? So now at this point, SONHADORES can choose whatever they want. They can. I would go for a freeze comp where you can control the Mina, don't go chaotic. Don't get those hits from Erty that can change the game. So yeah, so some range and be secure already against the thrower with the Gray is a good start.
Gray and Byron, this basically screams tank for me right now. Just anything that will get a lot out of those 2 support brawlers. I also still wait to see Rico, a brawler that we've seen so often already today on this map. Rico and RT so far are mainstays on Golden Gulch.
Probably gearing up for something a bit tankier that relies on those walls. They banned out Brock. They knew that they wanted to go for this. They also have the possibility of breaking open walls if they desire to do so. Okay, that's real interesting. They're just waiting for the end game with this Pearl. Not going to be breaking open any walls, most likely. Just trying to keep it on high HP, get into position with all of its shield from building up that heat, and then use a gadget, try and get a free kill off of that.
Yeah, I don't expect it, but in EMEA could be a T-class pick, just holding the Gray, don't getting hit, right? If you are freezing the Gray good, thrower can have really good value, and that's what I vote for. Maybe you miss a bit of damage, so you need that, yeah. Good option, safe.
Very safe option here with Gus and RT on the left-hand side. We have 2 brawlers that are both good at the beginning of the map as well as the end. When the smoke comes in and they have their supers available, they're going to do super well. So I would definitely side with the left-hand side's composition here. Pedro, if you had to choose, which would be your comp?
I would go for blue one. I think they.
Why?
I think they can adapt to every stage of the game. They have a really good early. If they manage to hit 2 bullets with the Erty together, could be a kill. And it's much harder for the red team with the Byron. Need to have an eye all the time on the allies. Pearl on the early is going to suffer a bit. It's harder to make it work.
Well, she's clearing out the right side for now, knows that there's no one in that bush, so nothing really to be concerned about, and going to be playing around these walls for as long as she possibly can. It's not like they're at risk of going down. No one really breaks walls here, except for Magic on the top lane, of course. And he wouldn't mind breaking open some of those on the left side to further strengthen that stronghold on the right side.
Yeah, it's going to be a really slow game. Basically, no one is going to get a kill before the overtime. I mean, the overtime, the Storm comes in, right? So they are just trying to hit some bullets here, some bullets there, so they can get super for late game.
Just working on the late game. Drew is being put under a bunch of pressure. Typically would like to sit on high heat with that shield. Now goes for a bit of damage on RHZ, but he doesn't have the HP to circle around from the bottom side. Forced to anyway. KR senses the opportunity for a kill. That's P.E.K.K.A on the right side, aggressing Magic. It's just 2 supports now. Their power player is out of here. Merlin still gets 1 kill with the use of the super. KR gets 1 at the middle. Merlin would love to farm up yet another super. Takes a TP for a bit of extra health to get some supercharge, but it is 1 in the books for SKC.
Was really close for SKC to lose when you have the early kill, right?
Yeah.
It's really important to get this kill in this kind of map where everything's going to go really slow. But it's really important to kill and reset, right? You kill, you reset, you go back, then you heal up completely. Even if you lose a bit of pressure, then you have 3v2. You should not lose it.
A bit of early aggression from Peck on the top side wants his super. KR almost bit off more than he could chew. In fact, he did. But that disturbance of the force is capitalized on by Pekka to exchange a kill. It's 2 versus 2. 2 supports
It was really good
versus
from
2 DPS.
Pekka to get that refrag. That you use a lot of ability, you outposition yourself to get a kill on my teammates. No, don't worry, I'm coming, I'm Mina. I can dash here, put the shield, kill you, and come back.
One super for Magic. That's his TP out, most likely. Doesn't really want to get on top of anyone here. RHZ, Pekka, both bad targets. He went for the long pull. No dice, but at least Merlin does have that hypercharge super for when the poison closes in. But it looks like we've got plenty of time. People just poking right now, but it might be time for SONHADORES to move because that poison's forcing everyone in.
I think SKCALALAS maybe lose this one just... Oh, no, they will not. Okay, I was expecting them to play a bit more safe, so the RT can just get fit, get the hypercharge, win the next round. But they didn't even wait to that.
It's game 1 for SKC. Saw the late game play a couple of times. SONHADORES, they, looked like they actually had a chance there towards the end, but they were also losing their Pearl quite early. Really, really bad because they're playing a couple of supports around this brawler. They need it to be alive. It's designed to be alive. It has HP, it has a shield, but it wandered out of position too many times.
Yeah, I think we can see here the confidence that SKC players have on themselves, right? They know that they are better, they know that they can, especially the gas is like dodging forward, dodging while walking, like getting a aggressive position, and you can see that they feel much superior.
Drew on the right side has cleared it out, but he's still hanging pretty low. Doesn't want to get himself in that bad position in the middle. Really interesting hook there from SONHADORES. Must have expected the way that Christian would dodge. Instead, he didn't move at all. It's going to be a countdown before Magic can try and get anyone out of position again or break open those walls so he can keep those supers rolling.
Yeah, this time they are trying to be a bit more safe, so SKC needs to be much more aggro to get some kills. And they are doing it, right? They are basically on their safe, they are basically on their house, just getting kills here and there. And it's going to be really hard to get it back.
For the first time we see Drew make it to the late game. Would love to see him make some impact here, but in fact it actually went more dominantly in favor of SKC than it did in the previous couple of rounds that they won. They're just 1 round away. SONHADORES, they're going to have to try something new here because they're basically out of tricks. You've only got 4 rounds of knockout here. This could be the last one.
I feel like SKC is going to win any moment of the game. Like they are winning early, they are in mid game, they can just push. Even if they freeze completely in late game, I think with RT Super, with the shield of Gas and with the shield of Mina, which is the same, late game they will win. So it's game, yeah. I mean, it's set.
Like, we've got a few more seconds, but let's be so real, folks. We already knew what was going to happen. RT even had a hypercharge super in the bank in case they couldn't win a 3v1. Not happening. SKC, what a dominant first set. And Pedro, you pointed out that, look, this draft, it looks really heavily weighted towards blue side, towards SKC. Really, really safe from them. Do you feel like going for this kind of composition for red team, was this just because they feel like they're inferior in the matchup? They had to play some sort of cheese comp?
I think they were a bit, yeah, maybe. But what I felt is like the SKC was superior on every aspect. And especially against that kind of rookie team, winning, not only winning, but stomping when you should not. I mean, I think they had the comp, but not as big difference as we saw. It's really important for the mental fight against these kind of things is really important. You know that maybe they are not ready to full comeback you, they are not ready to stay as a team together, so it's really important to not destroying game, also destroy the mental.
Well, and yeah, I feel like we did see these guys fracture apart as a team. You saw Drew get into an aggressive position a few times and then just gets devoured, encircled by SKC. And then so, okay, he takes a bit more withdrawn stance and then his teammates get taken down first. Really feel like they tried a bunch of things here. And even when they decided, okay, you know what, we're just going to play slow, we're going to play passive, SKC go, well, Mina moves when she attacks. We're just going to kill you. We're just going to move up your right lane.
That's what I mean. I feel like they feel much stronger, so they can bring any playstyle at this point.
That's confidence right there, and that's the word that you used as well. SKC, they're confident, but they're also playing it pretty safe. That threw me a little bit. with them going such a safe composition in set number 1. Looks like they have sort of understood their opponent, even after just one set. I'm curious how things are going to look on a more control-based mode, such as Ring of Fire. You are going to have to deal with things diving you constantly. I noticed that Ali is wide open. It was really strong here earlier. Mortis is gone, of course, so could be something that appears here.
Important, and I mean this.
Phew.
We can expect from SKCALALAS maybe to bring, not the first pick, but maybe a PAM or a Things, something really solid on the mid that can get a lot of percentage. And probably bring it with some aggression on the lanes, like Mortis, Frank.
Yeah, and since something that stood out to me earlier, here you have Finks. Yeah, just good control, anti-tank capabilities as well, because he can use a gadget, TP away, get all of his ammo back, and fire 6 shots at you in total. He does so much damage, and he also has a circle. He puts the circle down in the zone. It slows. You can get 2 circles if you're feeling feisty. But I'm really looking for an assassin somewhere in here. Ali is just one of the main characters of this map for me, and I feel like she can repel some of the things that are super good into Pam, like Belle, for example, just going to be all up in her business. Do you think that this would be a viable last pick?
I think we could see some Ali, yeah, but it's really important here to win the mid fight, right? Normally you always try these assassins basically to win the mid for you, but I always prefer to have a mid that can win by his own, not win, but maybe minimum hold, right? Or maybe you can have a Mortis to, I think, kill an Ali. That helps you, but it's important not to rely only that kind of brawlers.
Yeah. Well, speaking of mids, I'm not seeing a Pierce ban anywhere, so maybe that pick could be coming up any second. He's so strong right now. Spike and Meeple making an appearance here. 2 longer range brawlers, and Spike does have good anti-tank capabilities. We could be looking at a last pick, something that can shoot through or over Meeple's walls. Can move Pierce going to make an appearance?
Yeah, I think the Spike is a really good pick. Also, it's this anti-tank brawler that are really strong these days, like Otis also, obviously Nth, that allows you to play even if you are not facing a tank against. We saw Spike winning a Grom, right?
Yeah.
Before. What can we expect now?
Well, he just has so much range, basically. Has a curveball that gives him a bunch of additional range. By the way, of course, Pierce is going to make an entrance here. Anytime it's not banned, it probably is going to be picked unless it's shut out really, really hard by like spawners or just walls in general. So now, how do they finish this off? They have that Finks for anti-tank. They have their mid. There it is. That's their aggression that they need. And that's going to also help out this Pierce a lot. Mortis is banned. Now they've gotten rid of another assassin. Pierce just hates anything that spawns a bunch of crap that he has to shoot, and he doesn't like stuff that gets all up in his business. I think this will also allow RHC, provided there's not an assassin on the other side, to run the gadget that gives you an extra ammunition and aid to his pressure.
I think SKC went for the double mid and the chaotic, right? If you make the map a bit chaotic with the Ali, then double mid, double ballads on the mid are harder to dodge, right? And yeah, I was gonna wonder if they're gonna mirror the double mid or just come in something aggro. The point here is that maybe they can deal with the Ali, but once you kill the Ali, you don't have anything to really push.
Yeah.
You can always push with Pam or with Spike, especially, right, to get the push, but you don't really have this main aggro brawler.
Gotcha. Yeah, and they'll be able to play for control. They'll be able to like pinch in around a side, but I don't think they're ever going to be in those bushes. Unless Spike wins lane really, really hard, maybe moves up with Super, I'd say it's quite unlikely. So how is this going to work out for SONHADORES? They've played all control. They don't really have the aggression, but at least they have Pam with Scrap Sucker to suck away all that ammunition from Ali, provided that the mind games don't get that all avoided.
Yeah. They think they need that to get turret of the fan as soon as possible and keep it alive as much time as possible. If not, they're going to suffer a lot. They don't have damage, they don't have the range. They have a bit of HP, but Pierce is on a birthday. Right now he's enjoying a lot. He's just on a party. He's just going to shoot here and there and get so many supers.
Well, here comes one kill for P.E.K.K.A. He's deep in the back lines, going to encircle Magic. RHZ's feeling the heat, but it's fine because P.E.K.K.A.'s there to save the day with a single attack. It is SONHADORES over and over. Lambs to the slaughter. SKC are all up in their back lines, and they don't have a plan to retreat.
Yeah, this is so tough to watch. they should be thinking already about the next game, how to change it, but I cannot come with a good creative idea to deal with that. Ali, they like, I don't know, Spike need to hit everything or Pam need to put a really good gadget on him, but even if you kill the Ali, look, you're still in the back. You kill the Ali, but the Pierce, I don't know if Pierce got even 1k damage.
Oh, goodness.
On him.
Well, I mean, when your teammate's taking away all your targets, it's kind of hard to. Ali devouring them, just life after life into the jaws of the alligator. My goodness. And she's in the bushes all the time, too. She's jumping every which way. She has her gadget. She has her super to aid her getting additional damage. It's looking pretty bleak for SONHADORES right now.
To put the PAM on him, but it's not going to work for too long.
Okay, well, here.
Even if you kill him, he's going to come over and over back again. Like, they kill him now, but they need to still get the mid. They need to don't do mistake, because once the Ali kill one and get on the bush, it's going to be the same as before.
You're delaying the inevitable, but at least SONHADORES are in a more aggressive position than they've been for the entire game so far, this entire set so far. P.E.K.K.A once more on the right side, dodging those curveballs like a beast. He's got the super in, 1-2, couldn't get the second, and SONHADORES actually hold this anchor on the point.
Yeah, they managed to put the PAM on the alley and at least make time. They lose the turret though, they need the other two with the turret, so PAM really need to hold the alley and at the same time put the turret for the other two too. So PAM need to be everywhere, and it's really hard because he cannot do any mistake, right? One turret that is taking earlier than expected or one gadget that miss on the alley is going to be the same game that we saw before.
And look at this, as soon as P.E.K.K.A respawns and Magic's able to see him again, he's right over onto that lane, but he missed a Scrap Sucker. That's going to be costly. At least he has a super to keep himself alive for a little bit longer. And look at the priority here. They need to get rid of P.E.K.K.A, even though he's not the one capturing percentage on the point. That was RHZ. He was one tap on the point. Magic still alive, doing so much work for this team, but he's only one guy.
Yeah, he needs to be everywhere, right? He needs to win the 2v2, he needs to win the alley. I don't know why. Maybe they choose the wrong gadget for Spike, and he should have choose the stun for not the cactus. But then, yeah, then you have less abilities in the 2v2. It's really hard. They need everyone to be everywhere. It's really hard to make it done.
Hypercharge for Hypercharge right now. RHZ and Drew just used theirs. Probably not coming back for the remainder of this game. Here comes another edition of Meeple's Mansion. Provides a little bit of room for SONHADORES to get some percentage. They're counting up to 90%, but they are almost team wiped. It's going to be a staggered respawn for Magic, and it's just Drew. Needs to stay away. Could get this kill on P.E.K.K.A. Waiting for the timing. Gets 1, 2. Perfect. Staggers the respawn. SKC still alive on this point. Forced to back away, but Magic can't get it done in time. It's another set for SKC.
Yeah, I was surprised that they almost get it, right? They were able to control a bit the game, control a bit especially the alley. But once the alley he still makes so much time. So if the pan is busy, the other two will be two.
Really, really nice stuff here from SKC. We're going to take a look back at it too. This was pretty much a Rockstar game one. They shut out SONHADORES like it was never even an option for them to get any capture percentage. This is when P.E.K.K.A really kicked it into gear. He was farming KD. I cannot wait to see these stats. It's going to look ridiculous. It did the last time we saw Ali played just a couple of matches ago. I would expect nothing less. But SONHADORES, they lost control in the final seconds there. Do you think they didn't retreat when they needed to and then got staggered on the respawns and then lost? Or do you think it was already
as
done?
I said, I think the Ali just need a good interaction.
Gotcha.
He could try over and over and over. Once he gets one single good interaction, is gonna push all the team up. It's not only about him, right? Because the Christian and RHZ need to push at the same time. But if they do it once, it's completely controlled.
With how often we talked about it today, that you have to play for the objective, this almost is a bit ironic. This time around, the blue roster actually has all the kills and they end up winning Hot Zone. I guess it comes down to kills in some of those game modes. After all, you can't just only stay in the zone. That game number 2 looked super close. You already touched on it a little bit. Meeple's Mansion made a huge difference there. He was just cycling that gadget to get that control in mid. And as we kind of discussed, I also felt like maybe they went a bit too aggressive. They should have retweeted a little bit, just make sure to stay alive. They could have very well won that game.
I think this really comes down to also what Pedro was saying is you just have to get control of mid. What is your mid matchup? Because Ali is great at getting kills, getting disruptions in the backlines, but ultimately it's about that zone. Staying on the zone in, like you said, Meeple putting in the work, keeping that Meeple's Mansion down, blocking everyone away. No one's stuck inside of it. I just want to add that real quick. So I like the mentality here. I think SONHADORES actually had like some good pieces right there, but it didn't come together to get them a set victory.
Yeah, I think they should have decided that the PAM is going to fight in the 2v2 and the Spike is going to hold the alley, even though he didn't have the right gadget, but that could have worked.
So lane matchup is super important. Adapt to however your opponents are playing, and let's see if we finally see some signs of life from SONHADORES, if they now are ready to adapt to whatever their opponents are showing up against them. We're on bridge too far now. Heist, you need to do as much damage as possible to the opponent's Heist save. Kaza is going to be the first pick here. That kind of reminds me of a match we just watched beforehand.
A little deja vu. Wonder whether she's going to play on the right lane. Again, given that, of course, this is the enemy team, they'll probably be playing on the left side. Just, I think people don't know this about Bridge Too Far. The left lane and the right lane, they're not the same amount of open, is a way of putting it. One's one tile wider, the other's a tile shorter. But this is the EMEA influence right here. Pedro, you've got the Otis coming out. This was one of the top picks in EMEA. Care to explain?
Yeah, it's a really safe pick, right? You miss a bit of range to maybe fight a pure sniper, but you can hold it, and of course you are really good against Caces or Darrils or whatever aggro they can bring to you.
This map really comes down to lane matchup, and whenever you have lanes like this one where a lot of water is involved, Eve and Angelo usually banned out, Angelo left open and immediately picked up here. Makes a lot of sense for me. We saw Juju before, also one of those brawlers that can make put the water to good use. Ali would be one of them, Shade as well. And yeah, Eve, as already mentioned, usually those two have always been banned out, Pedro.
Yeah, I was expecting to have another water brawler, what we call water brawler, right? In this map you have Angelo, Juju and Eve in that order, I would say. So if someone has picked one of these and the other two are open, I think you normally pick those because it's super safe, and yeah, we saw it.
So now you need something that either outranges the Eve or is able to pierce through those annoying little fleas that she spawns. You know, they're her babies. Hatchlings. She's a space flea. They're little
babies. Hatchlings or babies.
They might be her babies, but they're the most annoying little pieces of crap on this map. And I think this is going to be something that is now done by SKCALALAS. They'll find some way of piercing through it. If not, it's going to be a huge thorn in the side for Angelo, who has just one shot, one opportunity to take down each brawler or little spawnable at the same time. Also got to have to fend off this Melody, which will typically be Otis's job, but it wouldn't hurt to have another brawler do that.
We right now have a super aggressive comp on the right-hand side with both the Kaze and the Melody. They just want to dive onto save. I was about to say, we have not that much damage on the left-hand side here from SKCALALAS, so I was hoping for some more DPS. Crow is a brawler that I've mentioned before in this map. He can dive in, do so much damage, especially when he has his hypercharge available. And Angelo and Otis are more staying in the back, just trying to defend, especially against that Kaze. Otis is going to come in clutch.
Yeah, I think that we can see that the Soñadores knows that they are not the favorites once again, right? That they need to impress, they need to make the game super chaotic, gone super aggro, and that's what they did, right? They went super aggro, they went literally all in, and SKC just need to hold the aggression and go in when they have the chance.
This is one of the things that sucks about having a brawler that floats over water. Your lane can get double stacked and you can't do anything about it. Kaze immediately shut down, but it's fine. It's an opportunity for Magic to move forward and get that first shield cracked. It is crack for crack at the moment, but SKCALALAS SA are taking the majority of the heat, 9% right now. SONHADORES ahead by the tempo. And here comes Magic once more with all three notes in tow, avoiding those shots as best as he can, and that's another one. What a lightning fast game so far. Yeah,
I mean, we said that SONHADORES didn't go for the objective before, and now they are just doing that, right? They are forgetting and just going all aggro. The problem is that you are going to fit a lot, especially against a Crow. Is really risky to do that. We even saw the Otis on aggression, not even on defense. Maybe if they put even the Otis on defense, it's going to be even easier to stop the aggression of double aggression of Melody Cace. But even on top, they won. So, yeah.
Oh man, SKC on the cusp of victory. Now they've gotten a couple of sets under their belt, 2 so far. 1 game remains. Will it be as efficient as the one that we just witnessed? Gone in just under a minute. SONHADORES now adapting their lineups. They're putting Merlin on the left side, and it was a good idea to do so because they're facing the other brawler that floats over the water. His kill on Drew already created a little bit of aggression, but double stacking the assassins was maybe an overcommitment.
Yeah, even if they won, SKC knows that the Otis is not the main damage dealer of the team, so he now is coming for defense, to help on defense, even though he's going to be ignored now from Melody and Cace, obviously, but he needs to be a bit more with the team this time.
It's really tempting also to go for the save. KR's actually going to go for it. Christian all alone on the enemy side, leaving his team to defend, but they're not really geared up for defense. They don't have the DPS unless you're P.E.K.K.A and you get a super. He's got that hypercharge in tow. Drew's going to go for as much damage as possible. Meanwhile, on the SONHADORES side, they're only 2% off from missing another chunk of health from their safe. That is the second crack on the safe. They've only got one more shield to work with.
Yeah, that last shot of Otis was really important because now Crow can jump, get another full shield, and now they have an insane advantage. They need to hold a bit, do some damage here and there. Probably Crow with the other aggro is going to get another super, and it's going to be game, set, and match.
Okay, Magic aggressive, but Merlin's left alone. 1v2, that's a tall order. 1.3k HP, taking all he can in the world. Not enough to withstand the force of Otis on the safe. P.E.K.K.A knows what's up. Get pretty. You're going to the semifinals.
Yeah, I mean, they prove they are much better. What we talked, like, when you want to prove that you are the best, you need to start stomping who you need to start stomping, and what they did.
The number 2 seed of the region moved on into the semi-finals, also in the first monthly final of the season. P.E.K.K.A being fresh in that roster, he's doing pretty well. I think we talked about communication. Pedro, so far, so good for them.
I mean, they played really good. They have the strategy really right in by role, the coach, and they did really good. They all commit. They know that they need to play together to get the best from each other, and that's what they did.
Happy to see the transplant of Roll and P.E.K.K.A from last year's Casa Brawl making an impact on this squad. Seemed like they, couldn't really find who they were most comfortable with. P.E.K.K.A, of course, just getting ready for the next one on the cams. Love when the players are comfortable on the cams, but